As we reflect on the one-year anniversary of the pandemic, we're taking a moment to honor the more than 538,000 people in the U.S. who have died. For the past year, we've shared the stories of the remarkable people we've lost. Some were known to the world, others only to loved ones, but all made a significant difference. Here are just some of the many lives to remember. Antoine Hodge was an opera singer, known for his powerful bass baritone and his kind, commanding presence. He would always find light and love for every person and everything, said his friend Arthur Boytall. Originally from Georgia, Antoine performed with professional companies across the country before moving to New York City, and in 2019, he achieved a dream, joining the ensemble for the Metropolitan Opera's revival of Porgy and Bess.
Well, what is it here?
Antoine was ecstatic to have finally made his Met debut, and for more doors to open, Boytall said. He was waiting in the wings for his moment. Antoine Hodge was 38. Martin and Madeline Schwartz were married for 65 years. They grew up in Brooklyn, just 2 blocks apart, but had never met. In the early 1950s, when Marty was stationed with the Air Force in San Antonio and Madeline was vacationing with family, they finally met at a military ball. Marty and Madeline fell in love, said I do, and built a large family before retiring down in Florida. Marty was an avid golfer. Madeline loved to travel. They sent their grandkids custom-made birthday cards in the mail every year. In February, Marty and Madeline got vaccinated, but days later were admitted to the hospital, where both tested positive for COVID-19. They died 4 days apart. Martin Schwartz was 90. Madeline Schwartz was 87. Claudette White was a tribal judge who fiercely advocated for the Quechan tribe in Southern California.
Okay.
She was featured in the 2017 documentary Tribal Justice for her work as a chief judge in tribal court, focusing more on healing families and resolving conflicts through mediation instead of punishment through incarceration.
Tribal court lots of times is about people.
Claudette was the first in her family to go to college, and at 23 years old, became one of the youngest members elected to the Quechan Council. She helped her tribe stop the building of a nuclear waste facility in the Mojave Desert, land they consider sacred. Claudette had a tattoo of a Native American Wonder Woman on her arm. She cared for her people and loved her people like a superhero would, her son Zion said. She was a strong person. Even in the face of death, she wasn't scared. Claudette White was 49. Petty Officer Second Class Cody Myers was an information systems technician in the U.S. Navy. Cody was passionate about Seattle sports, theater, jazz music, and Lord of the Rings. A natural-born leader, he was always helping friends through tough times. He was one of the greatest men I've ever known, said his longtime friend Isaac Monroe. In February, after Cody's last trip out with the Navy, he was awarded an achievement medal for his work on the Georgia-based ballistic missile submarine. Cody loved his country, but most of all, his family. He and his wife Mallory were raising their first child together. Cody died a few weeks before his son Asher's first birthday. I'm thankful, Mallory said. I feel like we lived 100 lives in 7 years. Cody Myers was 26. Cody's family is hoping to hold a memorial for him at T-Mobile Park, where his beloved Seattle Mariners played. Another footnote here, the Metropolitan Opera this fall will dedicate their opening night performance of Porgy and Bess to Antoine Hodge.
I love that.
This is the thing about your pieces, Anthony. It shows there's no rhyme or reason many times. It affects all colors, all ages.
all genders, and
Yeah.
it just doesn't make sense.
No,
in so
it doesn't
many cases.
discriminate in any way, shape, or form.
No, it really doesn't.
All extraordinary lives in their own way.
And all deeply loved. We'll be right back.